everyone. Welcome to Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. This is what it's all about in high school football across the state of Texas. The Class 5A state championship football game to be played here this afternoon, of course, between the Odessa Permian Panthers, 12-0-2 for the season, and Port Arthur Jefferson, the Yellow Cats from down in that part of the country, 14-0 going in. Port Arthur ranked number 1 in the state by the Harris rating this week. Permian up to number 2 this week. And the Yellow Jackets go into this ball game rated a 1-point favorite. Gary, as we said in the beginning, this is really what it's all about. Gary Hopper, of course, with me again this afternoon. The Panthers playing on a field that has more or less become their home away from home in the playoffs. That used to be P.E. Shotwell Stadium. But this year, Irving, Texas Stadium here. The Panthers have played here twice this season before today, and they're getting where they feel very comfortable here.
This is actually a great place to play football in Texas Stadium. And, of course, as you said, Carl, the Permian Panthers feel at home here. Port Arthur Jefferson hasn't played in Texas Stadium, and that may be an advantage to the Permian Panthers. Of course, I guess one of the big keys this afternoon will be to see if the Permian defense can hold on and shut down that awesome offensive attack by the Port Arthur Jefferson Yellow Jackets. They're averaging more than 400 yards offensively, and I believe last week against San Antonio Holmes, they were able to stack up some 534 yards offensively. So they're a tough, open football team, and the quarterback, Todd Dodge, he likes to pass.
Wide open, I think, would be a good way to describe it. Of course, the Permian Panthers have been known to play a little defense from time to time. They're giving up only an average of 151 yards a game going into this 15th game of the season. So it's a defense from Permian that doesn't give up much in the way of points or in the way of yards against a high-rolling offensive unit from Port Arthur Jefferson. The Yellow Jackets won the toss just a little while ago here at midfield, and the Port Arthur Jefferson squad elected to receive the football, so they're going to get their hands on it first. Back deep for them will be number 5, Marty Tatum, and number 28, Bruce Miller. Of course, Roy Dunn will do the kicking off for the Permian Panthers. As we said, Permian 12-0-2 for the season. The Yellow Jackets 14-0. Coach John Wilkins earlier in the week said that he felt there was no question that Port Arthur Jefferson provides the best offensive attack that any Permian team, that's in the history of the Permian Panthers, any Permian team has ever faced. So the Panther defense has its work cut out here this afternoon. The real key for the Panthers, though, is going to be to control the football, because if that high-rolling Jefferson offense can't get its hands on the football, then it's not going to be able to score. The crowd comes to its feet at Texas Stadium. The Class 5A state championship game from here is underway. Ball comes down to Bruce Miller, takes it in at the 9-yard line. Miller back across the 15, hits the 20 in stride at the 25, and goes down at the 26. Port Arthur Jefferson goes from there.
Terry Rice for the Permian Panthers into the stop, number 17. He plays at the quarterback position, and we're probably going to be expecting a lot out of Terry Rice this afternoon defensively.
Quarterback for Port Arthur Jefferson is Todd Dodge. His favorite receiver is number 23, Brett Duhan. Jefferson keeps the ball on the ground with Bruce Miller, the ball carrier, on the opening play, and Miller picks up a couple. Dodge goes into the game with 201 completions for the season, 2,942 passing yards. He has 5,449 yards in his career throwing the football. He holds the record for career completions and single-game passing yards. Second down in about 7, puts it in the air, completes it to Duhan, his favorite receiver. Duhan down to the 30-yard line. Brett Duhan across the 20. He stepped out back across the 40-yard line, however. They do throw the ball, don't they?
Right, quick.
Line of scrimmage on that play, the 26-yard line. Duhan goes all the way, but he's called back to the 44-yard line. Here it is again. Duhan had Terry Rice beat. That's going to be Rice's man this afternoon. Mark Glasscock couldn't get the angle on him. Duhan stretched it out down the sideline, but it's back to the 44. First down, though, for Port Arthur Jefferson as they go across midfield. Well, as we said, the quarterback holds the state records in career completions with 372. Also the single-season passing yards. Weibel split to the far side. He's the wingback. Keep it on the ground inside the 40-yard line with the ball carrier being Bruce Miller. Port Arthur Jefferson throws the football about half of the time. And they've got a potent ground attack from looking at statistics to go with that passing game. Here he is. The tailback, Bruce Miller, 5'10", 160-pound junior. Miller with 878 yards for the season. He's also caught over 400 yards in passes. And off goes again to Miller. This time, Miller meets some Panther defense in the form of Mike Williams, Dale Carr, and Jack Kenner. Not before he almost reaches the 35-yard line. It'll be third down. Port Arthur Jefferson still needs a yard. We haven't seen Don Holloway running out of the backfield yet this afternoon. Holloway is the fullback, wears number 35. He's over 1,000 yards on the ground this year, 1,032 to be exact. He has 110 points, 18 touchdowns, the leading receiver or the leading scorer on the football team. Duhan is stretched out to the near side. Third down at about 1. They go to Holloway. The 1,000-yard rusher is stopped right along the line of scrimmage, loses the football back. As you saw, recovered by Port Arthur Jefferson, but for a loss of 4 yards on the play. Here it is again. Holloway, the 1,000-yard rusher, tries to get the 32. Short yardage.
He turned it inside.
It was Williams, 65, that caused the fumble. Loss of 4 on the play, back to the 39-yard line, and that brings up fourth down. Duhan, number 23, does the punting. He's standing back at the 48-yard line. Low snap, takes it on one bounce, gets it away from just across midfield. Ball comes down at the 11-yard line to Coy Brown. Coy Brown at the 15-yard line and goes down there. So the Panther defense, after being burned for the pass from Duhan to Duhan from the quarterback Dodge, get the football, they turn it over. This is a KOSA-TV Minicam 7 sports special. Panthers have the football for the first time. Jerry Hicks, of course, the quarterback, opening up at the backfield behind him as the split end shifts to the near side. Jimmy Morris in the backfield. Kent Sager, the tailback, goes in motion. Number 30 back there, the fullback, is Philip Crane. Hicks trying to get outside, and he goes down hard. At the 11-yard line, there's a yellow flag laying up at the 15-yard line. 9 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the opening quarter from Texas Stadium. Penalty yardage moves it up to the 20-yard line. Offsides is the call against the Yellow Jackets. Permian now with first down. Still, and they need 5. Crane comes out. Dale Carr, number 36, checks in for the Mojo. Rather chilly day at Texas Stadium. About an hour before game time, thermometers on the field. One end zone showed 40 degrees. The other end zone showed 36. Mike George back this week. He's in motion to the far side. He's the flanker. Got Carr and Williams in front of Hicks. Hicks up close to the 30-yard line and goes down at the 29. Only needed 5 for the first down. He got that and about 4 more. Panthers have first and 10 at the 29. It is again Jerry Hicks. He's done the load. Panthers have run just a couple of offensive plays so far this afternoon, and he's carried on both. He had Williams and Dale Carr blocking up in front of him. They opened the hole for him. Hicks up to the 29-yard line. Crane back in there at fullback now, and Sager comes in motion out of the backfield. Handoff goes to the flanker on the reverse. Mike George to the 30-yard line and up to about the 32. Play that has been so successful for the Panthers throughout the season, this and other seasons. Mike Williams checks out. Also, Crane comes out now, and Carr is back in there. Center for the Panthers is Olin Howard, number 52. We'll check the rest of that offensive line in just a moment. Second down at about 7. Hicks to throw. Quick one over the middle. Picked off in the secondary. Dale Carr makes the stop on the one of the safeties, Chris Stump. Stump with the interception for Port Arthur Jefferson. Pass was intended for Pinnell. Just down and in quick. Overthrew Pinnell. Pinnell was open right in the arms of Stump. And Port Arthur Jefferson gets the ball on the turnover. Panthers make the first critical mistake of the afternoon. Remains to be seen, of course, how critical it'll be. Dodge back to throw on first down. Carr, linebacker, putting pressure on. Now he gets it away, in and out of the hands of Mike Williams. Williams all alone at the 29-yard line. Nobody close to him, and Mike just couldn't handle it.
That's exactly what the Permian defense has got to do all afternoon long, is pressure Todd Dodge.
Very definitely. Got to stay in his face most of this afternoon. Now, there it was, off the hands of Williams. Second down. Jefferson still needs 10 from the 38-yard line. Dodge back to throw on second down. Just dumps it over the middle. Tackle made by Street. Kirk Street. Pass was completed out of the backfield to the tailback, Bruce Miller. As we said, Miller with over 870 yards rushing for the season. He also has pass receptions worth another 432 yards, so he's got 1,310 yards, total yards, going into the game. Nice play by Street. That's just at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 3rd and 10. Duhan goes split to the far side. Better keep an eye on that youngster. Dodge is looking for him. He finds him inside the 30-yard line. Jack Kenner rolls him out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Stops the clock with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left here in the opening quarter from Texas Stadium. Here's the play again. Dodge is drawing in on some other passing records here this afternoon. He needs 58 yards here today to go over 3,000 yards and become the first passer in the state of Texas football, high school football, to do that. Miller inside the 25-yard line, down close to the 22. That was the first down play. It'll be second down and 3.
Dan McGrew was there for the Permian Panthers along with Jack Kenner.
Second down at about 7. Handoff again. This time to the fullback. The fullback down inside the 5-yard line. That's Holloway. And Port Arthur Jefferson is drawn down now inside the Panther 5. Holloway off that right side, left side of the defensive line. Finally, Glasscock shoves him out of bounds, but not before he goes inside the 5-yard line. Jefferson at the Panther 2. Panther defense with a real test here very early. This is the same end of the field where they rose up and stopped Highland Park last week. They hold Port Arthur Jefferson on the first play this time. And again, it was Holloway. Holloway, 6'2", 190-pounder, the fullback. Panthers defensively down there, Dale Carr and Kirk Slaughter. McGrew is in there. Riley, second down and goal. Miller gets the call. Miller is close. Miller is close, but he didn't get there. Panther defense holds on second down. It's third down and goal, and that's Mike Williams, number 65.
Port Arthur Jefferson calls the timeout. They've got to talk about this and try to figure out how to get inside that Panther defensive line.
It'll be third down and goal from the 1. As Gary said, there is a timeout on the field. 5 minutes and 44 seconds left here in the opening quarter from Texas Stadium. Port Arthur Jefferson and Permian in a scoreless battle midway through the opening quarter. Dodge has completed 3 passes so far this afternoon, 3 out of 4. And that ties him for the season record for completions.
This position of the football kind of reminds you back of last week's game against Highland Park when they drove some 97, 98 yards and the Permian defense was able to hold on the goal line.
It really does. Third down for Port Arthur Jefferson right here. So the next time the quarterback Dodge completes a pass, he will have set a new high school record for season completions. He already holds the record for career completions and for single season passing yards. He's passed this year for 2,942. He's thrown so far this afternoon for 41 yards. He only needed 58 yards to go over 3,000. That 41 now has set the new 5A record for single season yards. Third down. Panther defense doesn't hold this time, though. Handoff goes to Holloway, the fullback, and Holloway goes in over Barham. Lands on Barham. Here it is again, the big fullback. Barham is there and Williams is there, but not before Holloway gets to the end zone. Don Holloway scores his 19th touchdown of the season for the Yellow Jackets, and the Yellow Jackets lead it here now by a score of 6-0 with the extra point still to come. Kick is blocked.
Stephen
good.
Blocked it.
Greg Brugman does the extra point kicking for Port Arthur Jefferson, and he didn't get that one. Stephen Knowles is the one that got it. And the score holds at 6-0.
And when you're in this position in the playoffs, that extra point could be big.
Extra point could be very, very important. Well, Port Arthur Jefferson has scored something like 372 points this season. High rolling offensive attack. There's the touchdown again. So now they have 378 points. And the Panthers are going to get the football, and it's time right now that the Panthers establish something offensively. That touchdown, you'll remember, came as a result of the interception, as Port Arthur Jefferson able to take the ball across midfield on the intercept and drive it down. Big play being run by the fullback Holloway to put them in first and goal situation inside the Panther 5-yard line. So the Panthers are down now. They've given up 49 points this season, 6 here this afternoon. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left in the opening quarter. Standing back deep for the Panthers, Moeller, number 81, and Coy Brown, number 25. Kick goes to the far side. It'll be short. Short man is Massey. Massey at the 25-yard line and up to the 26. Well, it looked like Massey, number 22. In fact, it was 32, Kirk Street. So the Panthers starting linebacker returns it from his short position on the kickoff, and the Panthers have the ball at the 26-yard line. Fennell comes split to the near side. 1st and 10 for Permian. Handoff or pitch goes to Sager. Sager picks up a yard and not much more than that. Sager suffered a twisted ankle last week in the game against Highland Park and was hobbling most of the week on that back in Odessa. Was on a pair of crutches early in the week, very early in the week. Did work out later on in the week. Worked out yesterday here at Texas Stadium. Has been receiving treatment for it. Talked to him before the game. Said it was a little stiff. But he, of course, is going. The big one in Class 5A football across the state of Texas right here this afternoon. George comes in motion. Handoff goes to Crane. Crane across the 35-yard line. Pickup of 11 on the play for Philip Crane. The Panthers pick up a first down.
Good effort by Philip Crane.
Head coach of the Permian Panthers, of course, is John Wilkins. John winding up his 8th season here this afternoon. He is also coaching his 100th game right here today as the head coach of the Permian Panthers. His career record at Permian as the head coach, 84-12-3. Trying to win his 85th out of 100 games as head coach, and that ain't bad. At the 37-yard line, Sager. Sager up to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play for Kent Sager. Sager went into the game 912 yards for the year, a 4.7 yard per carry average. He leads the Panthers in scoring with 15 touchdowns. Good run by Kent right there. Ball spotted just short of the 45-yard line. Olin Howard up over the football. The center. Panthers with a first down, and Hicks is looking to throw. Now he's going to scramble out. He gets the first down yardage, and Hicks goes down to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play for Jerry Hicks, and the Panthers have a first down as they cross midfield and get into Port Arthur Jefferson territory for the first time this afternoon. Hicks looking further downfield, decides to run, then thinks maybe he ought to throw, and then he decides to go ahead and run it. Good choice. 11 yards on the play down to the 45. In the offensive line for the Panthers, left guard is number 68, Dean Gibson. Number 62 is Rusty Ray, the right guard. Dunn and Helfrich are the tackles. Morris, the tight end. 1st and 10, and Hicks is keeping all the way this time, and Hicks loses a yard or two on the play. Checking the offensive line again, number 52, the center is Olin Howard, 170-pound senior. The guards, Rusty Ray, number 62, 202-pound junior, and Dean Gibson, number 68, 166-pound senior. Tackles are Roy Dunn, 71, 235-pound senior. Mark Helfrich, number 60, a 179-pound senior. 2nd down, Panthers need 12. Hicks to throw and does. Mike George makes the catch. The flanker down inside the 30 and on inside the 25. They're going to spot it back at the 26, though.
Number 60, Mark Lewis, the middle linebacker for Port Arthur, tripped him up, but Mike George was able to stumble and make up about 5 more yards after he was tripped up.
20 yards on the play from Hicks to George. Nice catch by George. 226 yards and a 12.5-yard average per catch going in. He's caught 3 touchdown passes. Panthers have a 1st down at the 26-yard line. Panthers on the move. Sager comes in motion out of the backfield. Hicks is keeping again. Hicks at the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Don Holloway, number 35, the weak side linebacker, making the stop for the Yellow Jackets.
Crane out in front of Hicks, blocking for him on the play. Crane threw a key block on that one, too. Down to the 19-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 7 for Mojo as they move inside the Port Arthur Jefferson 20-yard line for the first time. That's George, the flanker, in motion to the near side again. Handoff goes to Crane. Crane down to the 10-yard line before they pull him down. Well, Crane blasted through there that time.
This has been a very, very impressive drive, started back at the Permian 26-yard line.
Crane averages about 4.5 yards every time he gets the ball. He breaks one block there. Big hole opened up by that offensive line. Howard, Ray, Gibson, Helfrich, and Dunn. Panthers with a 1st and 10. Carr's in the backfield now, and Crane's out. Here comes Carr behind Sager. Carr down to the 8-yard line, pickup of a couple. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it appears that Permian might be able to get a 1st down without getting the touchdown. Clock down to 59 seconds and counting here in the opening quarter. Barham, number 90, was in on that last offensive play for Permian. He checks out. Number 10, Eddie Pennell, is in. Panthers averaging 299.5 yards per game offensively. And as Gary said, this has been a very good drive for them. Williams back in there at guard now for Rusty Ray. Hicks to throw. Pressure put on Hicks. Hicks gets away from a couple of them. Hicks back inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. I can't believe it. Jerry Hicks was dead to rights back there. They had Hicks back at the 15, and he got away from them and got inside the 5.
He does it week after week.
And he just continues to amaze us. There's one should have got him. That one had him for sure. Great block right there. Wish we could have seen that number. Couldn't read it, though. Opened it up for Hicks. Hicks inside the 5. Permian with 3rd down at the 3-yard line. Third down for the Panthers when we come back. That's the end of the first quarter of play from Texas Stadium. The Class 5A Texas State Football Championship on the line. Port Arthur Jefferson 6, Permian nothing, but Permian's threatening. This is a KOSA-TV Minicam 7 Sports Special. All season long, we've talked about how Jerry Hicks makes, to a certain extent, this Panther football team go by scrambling out of the backfield. Well, this is a classic example of it. Just watch it. Hicks gives the Panthers 3rd down and goal, 3rd down and 3 from the 3-yard line. Panthers are behind on the scoreboard, 6-0. They've grounded out, though. This is the 11th play coming up in this drive. This drive started back at the 26-yard line of the Permian Panthers. So they've grounded out in 10 plays. They're down now with 3rd down and goal at the 3. Good crowd, as you would expect for the state championship game. It's a cold day in Texas Stadium. We said chilly earlier, but it's downright cold. Sager dives, but Sager is stopped short. It'll be stopped down around the 1 to 2 yard line. Closer to the 2, it would appear. Well, he tries to dive for 3 big ones. He gets high, but not high enough. Stopped in the heart of that line, and there's a timeout again on the field. That was the opening play of the second quarter. Panthers go into the game this afternoon averaging 215 yards a game on the ground. They average 84.5 through the air. That's 299.5 yards per game. They've scored 320 points, 22.8 points per game. They've given up defensively only 3.5 points per game. Well, you saw the discussion that's going on the near sideline. There it is again. Coach Wilkins in the toboggan in the center. Coach Wayne Kennedy right to his right. Number 20 that Coach Wilkins is talking to there directly is Jerry Hicks, or Pennell rather, number 10. Jerry Hicks was on Pennell's left. So the play has been decided on. Panthers have 4th down at the 1.5 yard line. And they're going for it. They trail on the scoreboard of the state championship game 6-0. The play has been called, and the Panthers will go. Crowd is on its feet. Hicks rolls out. Big hole for Hicks, and Hicks scores. Hicks scores from 1.5 yards out, and the Panthers have tied this game up at 6-6 with 11:41 to play in the second quarter. Boy, that hole opened up that time. Here it is again. Hicks drops back, little play action, checks around, then sees the hole and goes for it. And carries Lee Schlein with him into the end zone. Roy Dunn will get his foot in the extra point attempt from the 10. This would put the Panthers ahead. Dunn gets it up, and the Permian Panthers lead in the state championship game. Permian 7, Port Arthur Jefferson 6. 11:41 to go in the second quarter. Very, very impressive drive for the Panthers, capped by this touchdown run by Jerry Hicks. It was a 12-play drive, started back at the 26, and Hicks put the capper in it from the 1.5 yard line when he carried it in himself. 5th touchdown of the season on the ground for the Panther quarterback. There may have been some throughout the season that were as big, but none any bigger. 11:41 to go before halftime, and the Panthers have taken the lead 7-6. Port Arthur Jefferson, of course, got a touchdown the last time they had the ball, immediately preceding this Panther drive. This drive started after Jefferson kicked off following their touchdown. Jefferson scored the touchdown and missed the extra point when Stephen Knoll, Panther defensive end, blocked it. So that 1 point could play a very, very big role.
You know, at the start of this football game, we talked about Port Arthur's wide open offense. That was a pretty good offensive drive for the Permian Panthers, 74 yards in 12 plays, and they played some ball control there, keeping the ball for almost 6 minutes.
Very, very definitely, and that is a very important thing to be watching for, because as we said in the beginning, one of the biggest keys in this game is for Permian to control the football, because if Jefferson doesn't have it, they can't score in all probability. Bruce Miller, number 28, returns for Jefferson, gives them pretty good field position out at the 25-yard line. Defensively for the Permian Panthers, the defensive tackles are Jerry Riley, number 61, and Kurt Slaughter, number 54. Defensive ends, Brett Barham, number 90, Stephen Knoll, number 66. Carr, Street, and Williams are the linebackers. First and 10 for Jefferson. Dodge back to throw, unloads it out to the 25-yard line. Great play by Street. Street makes the tackle for Permian. Pass was completed out of the backfield to the tailback, Mr. Miller, Bruce Miller. 5th reception of the afternoon for the quarterback Dodge. And as we said, he has now set the season record for completions. Added that to his trophy case. Back to throw again, completes another one. Completes this one to his favorite receiver, Duhan. Tackle put on Duhan by number 17, Terry Rice. Pickup of 8 on the play. Third down and a couple at the 33-yard line. Pitch goes to Miller. Miller just needed a couple of yards for the first down, and he'll be very close to it. Very close. Close enough, in fact, that they're going to bring the chains in from the near side. They'll have to take them all the way across the field. Permian Panthers, of course, are playing in their 6th state championship game. Their record in the state final is 2 wins and 3 losses. The last time they played in a state championship game, 1975, they lost 20-10 to Port Neches Groves, and that game was played right here at Texas Stadium. That's how much he needs. It couldn't be more than an inch. Port Arthur Jefferson is short. Personnel change on the field would indicate that no matter how short they are, with 4th down coming up and the ball just short of the 35-yard line, they'll kick it away. And that's the formation that they come out lined up in. Number 28, Bruce Miller, does the punting. Panthers have nobody deep. They have nobody deep. Not going to take any chances. Jefferson has 3 short men, supposedly as blockers, but of course it could be snapped to one of them. It's not. Gets the punt away, takes a Port Arthur Jefferson bounce down inside the Permian 25-yard line, down to the 23-yard line, and it's stopped there. So the Panthers on the return taking no chances. No chances as far as the possibility that Jefferson may be bluffing, and they'll take the ball back inside their own 25. With 10:07 to go before halftime, Permian 7, Port Arthur Jefferson 6. This is a KOSA-TV Minicamp 7 sports special. 38-yard punt for Port Arthur Jefferson puts the Panthers back inside the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Pennell comes split to the near side. It's Sager and Crane in the backfield behind Hicks. Kent Sager across the 25 and out to the 27.
Don Holloway, number 35, making the tackle, along with number 20, the right cornerback Arnold Landry for Port Arthur.
Sager with a pretty good wall there. Pennell trying to throw a block on the right cornerback Arnold Landry, but it was Landry that put a stop to the play. Pickup, though, of 4 on the play for Sager. 2nd down and 6. Hicks to George, the flanker on the reverse. George up close to the 30-yard line. Short yardage, about 2. And it'll be 3rd down. Panthers still need 4. As we said, the last time Permian played for the state championship was 75, and they lost it to Port Neches Groves right here at Texas Stadium. Port Arthur Jefferson has been in the state final game 4 times over the years. This is their 5th trip. It's the first time they've been here in 23 years, though. They last won it in 1944. 3rd down and 4 for Permian. Hicks to throw. Pressure put on him now, and Hicks is in a world of trouble, but Hicks is still on his feet until Don Holloway got there, and Holloway leveled the Panther quarterback.
Looked like he was going to get out of it again.
Really did. Lost back inside the 30-yard line. Here again, it looks like Hicks will be nailed right over in this area. Kip Cooper, number 88, missed him, had the best shot at him. Hicks got away and had some room to run until Holloway closed it in a hurry. Now Williams is standing back inside his own 10-yard line to punt on 4th down. It's 4th and 10. Low snap, but Williams fields it and gets it away. Line drive kick drives Miller across the 45. Miller back up close to midfield, gets into the star at the midfield stripe. And Port Arthur Jefferson comes away with excellent field position on the turnover. Seven minutes and 57 seconds to play before halftime. Permian Band coming up at halftime, and they've got another exceptional show. We saw them going through the routines prior to the game today, and it'll be another great show. At the 48-yard line, handoff goes to Miller. Miller, big hole at the 40-yard line. Miller inside the 30, down inside the 25-yard line. Terry Rice was blocked out of the play that allowed Miller to turn the corner over there. Glasscock in on the tackle, but not before Jefferson rolls inside the Panther 25. Here it is again. Big hole for Miller. Boy, he's got nothing but daylight, nothing but running room. Now there's Rice, and Rice got blocked out of the play and couldn't trip Miller up. Miller picked up a handful more inside the 25. Glasscock took him head on and rolled him to the ground, but not before he got inside the 25. Don Holloway. Holloway blasts down to the 20-yard line. Very aggressive football team from Port Arthur Jefferson, tangling with the Panthers here this afternoon. Clock continues to roll, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. What a tremendous football season it's been. Who would have thought that the Permian Panthers would be playing for the state championship here today? They have believed in themselves. Not a very big team, but they've got a lot of heart. Back to throw. Dodge puts it in the air, and Duhan is there at the goal line. Duhan had Rice beat. And Port Arthur Jefferson pulls away to a 12-7 lead now. Here it is again. Dodge back to throw. Does. Duhan is right there. He's got 4 yards on Terry Rice. Kenner comes over, but he can't get there in time to do anything to help. Extra point attempt is a fake with Dodge holding. Dodge backs off to throw, and now Does puts it into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Bobby Massey picks it off. So the Panthers hold on the extra point, and now it's a 12-7 ball game. Seven minutes and 2 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock, and the Panthers are down 12-7. Well, certainly nobody has, Permian has not played anybody yet this season who they wound up finding themselves in a scoring match with to any great extent. But they may be in that situation here this afternoon. Last 3 possessions have ended in touchdowns for one team or the other. And with a 12-7 score, Port Arthur Jefferson on top, it's obvious that Port Arthur Jefferson has scored 2 of the 3. Jefferson drive took only 3 plays, covered 52 yards, capped by the 21-yard touchdown pass, Dodge to Duhan. Panthers will get the ball back with 7 minutes to play before halftime and plenty of time to put some points on the board. Offense needs to control the football. That's the key. Back deep at the 10-yard line, Coy Brown and Terry Moeller. Kick high, comes to the near side, drives Brown back to the 4-yard line. Coy Brown with Moeller in front up to the 15-yard line, stays on his feet, but only to the 19. Panther offense couldn't move the ball the last time they had it. Had to put it away very shortly after they got it. Took Port Arthur Jefferson's offense to only 3 plays to put the TD on the scoreboard, so the defense wasn't on the field all that long. First and 10 at the 19. Sager. Sager with Helfrich and Gibson out in front of him. Sager up close to the 25-yard line. In fact, across the 25 maybe. Right at the 25 is where they'll spot him. But he had a whole fleet of them out in front of him. Helfrich, Gibson, Hicks, Crane. And it all worked for a 6-yard gain up to the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 4 from there. Flanker George in motion. Handoff to Crane, and Crane is just bombarded.
James Wallace is number 73, the left defensive end. He got to him first.
Here it is again. Crane, no sooner had he got the football that it looks like a freight train there with 3 cars meeting him head on. Five minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half. It's 3rd down and about 5. Sager in motion. Crane the only setback. Hicks is keeping. Hicks up to the 25-yard line and run out of bounds right there. Panthers finding it exceedingly hard to move the football against the Port Arthur Jefferson defense. And it's 4th down. 4th down and 4. Hicks needed about 5. He picked up 1. There's not enough room there to turn the corner. Miller pulls it in at the 41-yard line. Miller gets back to the 44-yard line. And Port Arthur Jefferson comes away with good field position once again. Just short of the 45. Last time they got the ball, they got it at the 48. And it didn't take them long to put some points up. Weibel, the wingback, comes split to the near side. Duhan lines up on the far side, and it's a running play with the fullback, Holloway.
Stephen Knoll, number 66, making the stop for the Panthers, along with number 32, Kirk Street.
Well, that quarterback right there, Todd Dodge, has set all kinds of schoolboy records this year and during his career at Port Arthur Jefferson. His favorite receiver, Duhan, on the verge this afternoon going in of setting some records, and we're going to check that, but I believe he already has set those records now. In fact, Duhan is the youngster that catches that pass across the 50-yard line, pickup of about 6 on the play. Duhan has caught 5 passes for 75 yards now. He needs to catch 7 passes this afternoon to set the Texas schoolboy football record for pass receptions in a single season. 3rd down and 2. Miller inside the 45-yard line gets the first down. I believe it was Miller, the fullback, though. It was Holloway, Don Holloway. Gets the first down yardage on the play with 4 minutes, 28 seconds to play in the first half. Yellow Jackets lead 12-7. Pressure on the quarterback, but he gets the pass away.
Jerry Riley almost had the interception for the Panthers. He's number 61.
It'll be 2nd down. Here it is again. Pressure put on straight up the middle by Williams, I believe. There's Miller, 28, and Holloway, 35. Both of those in position to catch the ball out of the backfield with Riley defending. 2nd down and 10. Dodge to throw again. Comes to the near side, completes it to Duhan. Duhan run out of bounds by Glasscock. But it's good again for a first down. Pickup of 13 on the play across the 30-yard line down to the Panther 28. Duhan has caught 6 passes now this afternoon, and that ties him for the Texas schoolboy record for single-season receptions. Holloway tries to get outside on the ground. Rice slowed him down, and Mike Williams put him on the ground. Duhan's caught 83 passes now, and that ties the record. One more will break it. The old record was set in 68 by Tommy Jones down at Crane, and tied in 77 by Craig Bowler of Houston St. Pius. Second down, Jefferson needs 12. Pass is complete, but there's another loss of yardage on the play back to the 35-yard line.
Brett Barham was there, number 90. Kurt Slaughter was there. Jerry Riley was there. Kurt Street was there. Several Panthers in on the tackle.
Completes it to his tailback, Miller, but the Panthers had that one down, and they converge. Swarming defense. Loss of a couple of more. It'll be third down and 17. With a timeout on the field, clock is stopped 3 minutes, 13 seconds before halftime.
You know, in this football game so far, Carl, the Permian Panthers, the offense has found itself in the same position usually the opposing team is in, with bad field position. They've started the drives back at their own 15, their own 26, their own 24, and their own 19-yard line. And that's not good by any standards, although the Permian Panthers were able to drive 74 yards and make a touchdown.
That's what they need to do more often.
On the other side of the coin, Port Arthur, they've started their drives back at their own 26, at the Permian 39, their own 25-yard line, their own 48, and in this drive, their own 44-yard line.
Field position definitely playing its role here this afternoon. And Port Arthur Jefferson is at the Panther 35. They reached the 28 on this drive. They've lost 7 on a couple of plays since then. Dodge so far this afternoon, 9 of 11. He's completed 9 of 11 passes for 85 yards. It's third and 17, and he'll be putting it up, you know it. Well, he keeps it on the ground. Riley and Dan McGrew, and a penalty flag goes down just as the tackle is made, just after the tackle was made. And I'm going to bet that that's going to be against the Panthers. That was a third down play. Jefferson was in need of 17 yards. They got 2. Williams, the middle linebacker, is walking backwards. That's not a good sign, and this is going to be stepped off against the Panthers. Stepped off from the 32-yard line, a big one, a major penalty, down inside the 20-yard line. The head referee spots it at the 17. And he didn't give us a signal of what the penalty was.
Face mask.
Face mask.
And that is a big one.
Starts the clock with 3:04 to play. Port Arthur Jefferson inside the Panther 20 at the 17, and they have a first down. Panther defense had stopped them on 3rd and 17, but they get the first down by way of the penalty. Pass was intended for Duhan, and Mike George, number 15, was there to break it up. Well, the Panther defense not giving up that many pounds here this afternoon. Not as many as it has in past games. Pressure put on right up the middle for Permian by Stephen Knoll, number 66. Jefferson's offensive line weighs in at 191.5. Permian's defensive line at 175. Holloway keeps it on the ground straight up the middle, tripped up along the 15-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3. Call it a pickup of 2. It'll be third down. And Jefferson needs 8. Down in the trench, Kurt Slaughter and Jerry Riley, the tackles. Barham and Knoll, the defensive ends, rifles it right over the middle, and Duhan has his second touchdown catch of the afternoon. And a flag goes down. Flag goes down well after the touchdown. He may have spiked the football. I didn't catch it. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Touchdown stands. Duhan for the afternoon has caught 8 passes for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Panthers are down 18-7 with the extra point still to come. Nold almost got there again. In fact, he may have. If he got his hand on it, it didn't do enough to get it offline because he puts it through and good. And the Yellow Jackets from Port Arthur Jefferson pull out to a 19-7 lead against the Permian Panthers. Well, Dodge to Duhan, they've struck twice this afternoon. They're both blue chippers. They were billed as such way back there before this season ever started. Way back there when Texas Football Magazine, Dave Campbell's magazine, was picking them to win the state championship. They were blue chippers then, and they're blue chippers now. They've struck twice this afternoon, and Port Arthur Jefferson leads this one 19-7. Jackets have 1 timeout left here in the opening half. Permian has 2. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was the call against Duhan following the touchdown a moment ago. So that'll cost Port Arthur Jefferson 15 yards, and they're going to have to kick it off from back at the 25-yard line. And Permian should be able to come away with pretty good field position. There's 2 minutes and 14 seconds to play before halftime.
11 plays and 56 yards on that drive. Time of possession, 3 minutes and 14 seconds for Port Arthur.
Well, I believe their passing attack may be everything everybody said it might be.
Has been so far this afternoon.
Duhan has caught 8 for 103 yards. Dodge has put it up 13 times, completed 10 for 100 yards even, and a couple of touchdowns. You know, in the playoffs offensively, Port Arthur Jefferson, this is in the playoffs, the last 4 games, they have averaged 467.5 yards per game. Panthers are going to get pretty good field position if they can handle this. Up at the 30, the 40-yard line. Coy Brown up to the 43-yard line, and Permian, in fact, does come away with good field position. (19-7). Permian needs to put some points on the board before halftime. Panthers offensively, leading ball carrier in the game for Permian is Hicks. He's run 8 times for 23 yards. Sager has 5 for 20. Crane has 3 for 20. 1st and 10 for Permian at their own 43-yard line. Hicks to throw, looking downfield. Now there's pressure on him, and Hicks is dropped back at the 39-yard line.
Don Holloway, number 35, making the tackle, along with number 73, James Wallace.
Well, that penalty a moment ago for the face mask against Permian turned out to really be a big one, because the Panthers had Port Arthur Jefferson stopped. They had stopped them on 3rd and 17. It was going to be 4th and about 15, but the face mask gave them new life, and they wound up getting the touchdown on the pass from Dodge to Duhan. Loss of 4 or 5 on the play. 2nd down and 15 for Permian. Sager in motion out of the backfield. On the reverse, nothing. Number 78, Brent Williams, saw that play coming. Williams, a 205-pound senior defensive tackle.
Lee Schlein, number 63, is also there for the Yellow Jackets.
Quick check of some of these offensive statistics. We show Port Arthur Jefferson about 170 total offensive yards for the afternoon. Leading in penetrations 3-1 and leading in first downs 10-6. Permian has 3rd down. They need 16. They need a big play to get things untracked. Hicks is the man that can do it, but he loses the football. Looks like Sager got there. Lots of Panthers in pursuit. 60 is Helfrich. Sager got it. Number 18, last man up off the pile. Monstrous loss on the play, though, back inside the 30-yard line. It's 4th down for Permian, and they need 27. They'll be happy now just to let the clock run on out. Down to 20 seconds and counting. Yep. Clock down to 8 seconds. Williams not in any hurry to take a snap. In fact, Mike's headed for the dressing room. That's it. He didn't have to get it away. About 170 total offensive yards and 3 touchdowns for Port Arthur Jefferson here in the first half. It comes on the passing attack that everybody told us was coming, and very definitely it is here. Second half is underway. Permian Panthers are going to get the football. Coy Brown pulls it in at the 8-yard line. Coy up to the 20-yard line with a full head of steam. Coy up to the 40-yard line on his feet and smashes down to the 45. Field position hurt Permian very badly in the first half. Permian did not start an offensive drive from past their own 40-yard line. So here, with the opening kickoff in the second half, they're going to start this possession from the 45. They get their best field position to start a drive of the afternoon. Ball is actually spotted at the 44. Panthers trail it 19-7. Jerry Hicks, the quarterback, taking the snap from Olin Howard. Crane and Sager in the backfield with him as George is in motion. Crane. And Crane is buried again by Brent Williams, 205-pound junior, number 78. That's a couple of times that Crane has got that sort of treatment. Well, back when Permian was down 12-7, they had Port Arthur Jefferson stopped. Jefferson was facing third down, needing 17. Out around the 30-yard line, 35-yard line. The Panthers stopped them. They were going to be faced with 4th and 15, but a face mask penalty on the play gave them new life, and that wound up in a touchdown, and they wind up leading at halftime by 12. Crane gets the call again. Crane across the 45 and up to the 46-yard line.
Mark Lewis, number 60, was there to make the tackle along with number 33, Greg Brugman.
57 rushing yards in the first half for the Panthers. Crane had 3 carries in the first half for 20 yards. Sager, 5 carries for 20 yards also. Third down for Mojo at the 46-yard line. 10:40 left in the third quarter. And a flag goes down to the offensive backfield for too much time. And the penalties have hurt Permian here this afternoon. Instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd down and 12. Key is really still the same, Gary. The Permian offense has got to control the football. If Port Arthur Jefferson doesn't have it, they can't score. That's the theory anyway. They did a pretty good job in the first half, though. Lead at 19-7, 3rd and 12. Hicks to throw. Completes the pass to his tight end, Morris. Morris is tripped up about the 42-yard line. Pickup of maybe 1 on the play. It'll be 4th down and still needing 12. Throwing the football so far this afternoon, Hicks has attempted 3, completed 2 for 16 yards, had 1 interception. That was the only turnover in the first half. So the Panthers can't move it offensively against the TJ defense. Mike Williams gets the punt away from the 31-yard line, averaging 40 yards a kick, drives it down to the 25-yard line. About a 43-yard kick for Williams, a little better than his average, no return on it. And the Panther defense knows what they have to do now. They've got to get the football back. Dodge in the first half, as we said, 10 of 13 passes, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keep the ball on the ground on the first down play. Don Holloway, Kirk Slaughter, and Brett Barham make the tackle for Mojo. Defensively for the Panthers, number 61, Jerry Riley, and number 54, Kirk Slaughter, the defensive tackles. Number 66, Stephen Knoll, and number 90, Brett Barham, the defensive ends. Dale Carr, left linebacker, 36. Mike Williams, 65 in the middle, and 32 is Kirk Street on the right side. Again, the ball goes on the ground to Holloway. Mike Williams with first contact, Jack Kenner, and Stephen Knoll in on the tackle for Permian. Cornerbacks for the Panthers, number 17, Terry Rice, number 14, or rather number 88, Jack Kenner. Safeties, 14, Mark Glasscock, and 25, Coy Brown. 3rd down and 1 at the 35-yard line. Tailback gets the call. Bruce Miller. Miller for a couple of yards. It appears that he does have the 1st down, and he does.
Bobby Massey and Stephen Knoll making the tackle for the Permian Panthers.
8:29 clock counting, 3rd quarter. This is the Class 5A state championship game. Permian in the title game for the 6th time. Port Arthur Jefferson here for the 5th time. Permian trying to even its record at 3-3 in the state championship game. Pass is complete to Duhon at midfield. Terry Rice, 17, and Mark Glasscock team up to run him out of bounds, but not before he gets down to the 40-yard line of Permian. And this becomes such a very, very important defensive series right here for the Panthers now. They're down by 12 at Port Arthur Jefferson with the pass to Duhon.
Had Rice beat about 2 steps. Terry Rice has got a big job this afternoon covering him.
Oh, doesn't he, though?
I'd hate to have that job.
Duhon has already set one record this afternoon for single-season receptions. Ball carrier, the tailback, Bruce Miller. Miller down inside the 30-yard line. 10 yards on the play for Miller. Duhon has set the record this afternoon for single-season pass receptions. He has 85 now for the season, has 8 this afternoon. Holloway, the fullback. Mike Williams. And number 87, Dan McGrew. And on the tackle for Permian. Jefferson has driven now down to the Panther 26-yard line. This is their opening possession here in the 2nd half. This started back at their own 26. Now they're at the Permian 26. Not much pressure. Has plenty of time to get the pass away. And it goes incomplete, intended again for Duhon.
Mike George was there, number 15, defending.
Well, the defensive line, they've got to get to him. He's got such a quick release. Gets rid of the ball so quickly. Doesn't give much time for the defense to get there. Jay Moore, 44, comes in for Permian. And Stephen Knoll, defensive end on the far side, checks out. He comes over and immediately talks things over with one of the Panther assistants. 2nd down and 10. Now they get a little pressure on him, and the pass goes incomplete. Pass intended for 32, Robert Smothers, the tight end, 5'11", 180-pounder. Another great halftime show a little while ago by the Permian Panther Marching Band. The Santa Claus that was pulled in by the Ector County Sheriff's Department car. The Santa Claus was George Slaymeyer. At the 26-yard line, 3rd and 10. Pressure on him this time, but Dodge gets it away, throws it into the end zone, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Mark Glasscock. Duhon was down there about the 2 or 3 yard line with Rice defending, and the quarterback Dodge just unloaded into the end zone, and Glasscock was the only one back there.
That was definitely a desperation throw by Todd Dodge. I thought they might get a intentional grounding if it would have hit the ground, but luckily Glasscock was able to intercept.
Got good pressure. That's streak number 32, and Dale Carr moving in. So the Panthers bring the ball out to the 20-yard line, and they have 1st and 10. The defense holds on this first offensive series for Port Arthur Jefferson as they drive down to the 26. Panthers down by 12, definitely need some points right here. Sager wrapped up right along the line of scrimmage. May have in fact lost a yard. Santa Claus, as we said, was played by George Slaymeyer in the halftime production by the Panther Band. The Elves were Allison Hobbs, the daughter of one of the Permian assistant coaches, Tracy Lindley, and Ginger Fought. Last two with ties to the Sheriff's Department at Ector County. 6:35 on the clock. Panthers with 2nd down and 11. Pitch goes to Moeller, lined up in the backfield, and Moeller puts the ball in the air. Pass intended for Pennell, and there are no flags down.
Robert Smothers, number 32, down defending for Port Arthur Jefferson, along with Chris Stump and Smothers, the safeties.
A couple of Jefferson players down there defending.
Pinnell almost came up with the catch.
Here's the pass from Moeller. Threw a touchdown, threw a big pass earlier in the playoffs, you'll remember. A good spiral on it, down into Pinnell's hands, but he had a lot of traffic around him. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers from their own 19-yard line. Pressure on Hicks, and Hicks is rolled up.
Brent Williams.
That's some defensive tackle, Brent Williams.
He's only a junior.
Maybe we'll see him next year. 3rd down, make it 4th down now for the Panthers. Loss of 7 on the play. Looks like he got his face mask to me. Hicks is down to 1 yard with that 8-yard loss. Here it is again. That hand's real close to the face mask, isn't it? There's some question in the first half about a face mask penalty that was called against Permian. Kick comes down. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line by Williams, or by Miller, Bruce Miller. And Port Arthur Jefferson gets great field position with 5.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Tremendous football season for the Permian Panthers. This has definitely and truly been a season of believing. Have given away size to everybody they've played all year long. Had given up only 46 points going into this game, so they've only given up 65 points still for the whole season. And they're going to set a 15-game record in that area defensively. Ball carrier, the tailback, Bruce Miller.
Brett Barham, number 90, making the stop for Permian.
So many people with all of the programs that surround the football program, as you see the replay. Band, of course, playing such a tremendous role in the football season. Charles Nail, the band director, head band director for the Panthers. 2nd down and 9. Street gets some pressure on Dodge, but Dodge just outruns it. Dodge at the 40-yard line with McGrew in pursuit along with George, and runs out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. The Panther cheerleaders for this 1980 season have been Debbie Holland, LaDonna Butler, Lori Hill, Kim Madison, and Kim Ellis. Those are the girl cheerleaders. The boys, Stacy Shivers, David Fisher, Mike Keck, Forrest McCrae, and Scott Smith. 3rd down and 3 for Port Arthur Jefferson at the Panther 38-yard line. Dodge just drops back and unloads, and Duhan. Who else? Duhan in a crowd. He had Massey, Kenner, and Glasscock all around him, and Duhan made the catch. Down to the 22-yard line. Here it is again. 16-yard pass play. Just drops back and sets up real quick. On the money, Duhan makes a good catch at the 22. 1st and 10, 4 minutes, 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Holloway, Williams, Permian middle linebacker, got in the way of Holloway and tripped him up. Well, Duhan's caught 9 this afternoon. Caught 9 this afternoon for 140 yards. .424. Miller on 2nd and 5. Miller pulled down from behind by Carr, I believe.
Brett Barham was also there, number 90.
Number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the state of Texas this week, according to the Harris poll. Port Arthur Jefferson, number 1. Permian, number 2. Jefferson went in a 1-point favorite. They lead by 12. It's 3rd down and 1 at the 12-yard line. Holloway, the big fullback, gets the call, and he gets down close to the 11-yard line and will be very close to what he needed. He got it. Trying to keep up with some of these records that this record-setting passing combination of Dodge to Duhan are setting here this afternoon. A couple. Duhan, the receiver, the next time he catches the football, he will set a record for career receptions. Miller gets the call. Street slows him down. Noel, Williams, some of that bunch make the tackle for Permian. That was a 1st and 10 play. It'll be 2nd down. And they still need 10. No gain on the play. .307 clock continues to roll. 2nd and 10 at the 12. Holloway goes down in the arms of Mike Williams.
Mark Glasscock was also there. He's number 14.
Stephen Knoll, defensive end, 66, is the one that made first contact. 2:49. Here comes Knoll streaking through right there. Slowed him down just enough. Turned him back inside and right into the arms of Mike Williams, Panther middle linebacker and defensive captain. 3rd down and 9. Dodge looking for the end zone, puts it up. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Robert Smothers, and Smothers was open. Smothers was open back there. And it'll be 4th down. Here it is again. Carr gets to Dodge just about the time he unloads. A little tall, but Smothers is a tall kid, 5'11", relatively tall, I guess, compared to some. 4th down and 10. They'll go for the field goal. It'll be spotted at the 16-yard line. 26-yard attempt, and he missed it. So the Panther defense has held again. Port Arthur Jefferson has driven the football to certainly within scoring range. 2 times they've had the ball here in the second half, and they've come away with nothing. With 2:26 to play in the 3rd quarter, Port Arthur Jefferson leads it over Permian 19-7. This is a KOSA-TV Minicam 7 sports special. The momentum all afternoon has been on the side of Port Arthur Jefferson. They've not been able to get it into the end zone after having a couple opportunities here in the 3rd quarter. And this is a situation now where the Permian offense could very easily turn the momentum in this football game. And Kent Sager has exactly that in mind. Sager across the 25-yard line, pickup of 8, up to the 28.
Mark Lewis, number 60, along with number 33, Greg Brugman, making the tackle for the Yellow Jackets.
Here it is again, pickup of 8 for Sager. A moment ago, we gave you the names of the Permian cheerleaders, girls and boys who played those roles this year. Also, the youngster that wears the Panther outfit, known as the Panther, is Ronnie Bonner. Give him the credit that he deserves. 2nd down and a couple for the Panthers. Crane. Crane just short of the 30-yard line. And that'll be, again, close to 1st down yardage. But a little short. Call it 3rd down and 1. Crane comes out. Dale Carr goes in. Leading rusher for the Panthers this afternoon, 7 carries, 27 yards, is Kent Sager. 3rd and 1. Panthers at their own 30-yard line. Crane. Big hole for Philip Crane. Crane across midfield, goes down inside the 40-yard line. It'll be spotted at the 38.
That was Dale Carr, I believe, Carl, number 36.
Dale Carr, okay. Big hole for Carr. Goes down at the 38-yard line. Well, we just said that the offense could turn the momentum of this game right here. They've driven to the 38 in just a couple of plays. Carried by Carr being the big one. Hicks puts it in the air. Completes the pass to Morris. Jimmy Morris scores 38 yards. Hicks to Jimmy Morris, the tight end. Morris had them beat by a couple of yards. Show them a little aerial play from West Texas. This is Jimmy Morris' 6th touchdown reception of the year, and Hicks' 14th touchdown pass. The Panthers get some big offense right here. 38 yards. Hicks to the tight end, Jimmy Morris. Morris had the safety, Chris Stump, beat by a couple. Roy Dunn gets his toe into the extra point, and it's good. And the Panthers have turned a 12-point deficit into only a 5-point deficit. That drive covered 80 yards, 5 plays in 80 yards, and took them only 37 seconds. 38 yards, Hicks to Morris. The Panthers have pulled to within 5. They trail 19-14. That may be the turning point. Panther crowd comes to their feet, finally gets a little to cheer about here at Texas Stadium this afternoon. Well, nobody scored 19 against the Panthers this year until today. Port Arthur Jefferson did it. They did it all in the first half. Only 37 seconds left here before halftime. Nothing for them in the scoreboard here in the third period. Ball comes down to Miller at the 13-yard line. Miller to the 25. Miller at the 30-yard line and goes down up about the 35. As they come off, we see Stacy Meeks, Chappelle, and Roy Dunn, 71. The kicker is the one that made the tackle. But just the same, Jefferson gets pretty good field position out just short of their own 34-yard line, 35-yard line. Clock counting, 30 seconds to play in the third period. Holloway, the fullback. Panther defense stops him for a gain of a yard, and the Panthers have come to life now, it appears.
Brett Barham, number 90, was the first one to get to him.
Kirk Slaughter also in on the play. Clock down to 13 seconds and counting, and there's not going to be another play here before they change into the field. 5 seconds. And that's going to be the end of 3 quarters of play in the Class 5A Texas State Football Championship game at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Port Arthur Jefferson leading Odessa Permian 19-14 with 12 minutes to go. This is a KOSA-TV Minicamp 7 Sports Special. More times than not this season, Port Arthur Jefferson has been in a position of having games put away by this point. The Permian Panthers very similar to that kind of position, but neither one of them's got a lock on this one at Texas Stadium today. Port Arthur Jefferson on top, but only by 5, 19-14. Talking to a couple of the Permian coaches prior to the game and during the week, and I was told more than one time that if they went into this fourth quarter tied, they felt Permian had a very, very good chance of winning it. If they went in tied. They're not tied, but Permian's down by only 5, and that's less than a touchdown. Miller dragged down by the ankles by Dale Carr, number 36. Go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully that momentum the Permian offense has shown in that last drive carries over to this defense. And it usually does.
Through 3 quarters of play, Port Arthur Jefferson, 116 rushing yards, 137 through the air for 253 total yards. It's 3rd down and 5, and the crowd is chanting mojo. Mike Williams on the stop, and Slaughter. Pass was complete to Smothers. Well, they're going to spot that ball just short of the 45-yard line, and that's going to be very close to the first down yards. They're going to bring them in. Take a look at it. That'll give us a chance to give you the 3 quarters statistics. Port Arthur Jefferson, 116 rushing yards, 137 passing yards for 253. They didn't get the first down either. Inches short. Yes, they did. Permian with 84 rushing yards and 54 yards through the air through 3 quarters for 138. Port Arthur Jefferson with 14 first downs, Permian with 8. Port Arthur Jefferson leads in penetrations 4-2. They lead on the scoreboard 19-14, but the Panthers are not out of it. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, and they go to Holloway, the big fullback. Today's attendance, 22,179 at Texas Stadium for the state championship in the biggest class of high school football that this state has to offer. Penalty yardage stepped off against Port Arthur Jefferson. Illegal motion was the call. Instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15 now, back at the 40-yard line. Riley, Slaughter, Barham, and Knoll dig in, and they're coming. After Dodge, lots of pressure on him this time. Completes the pass, and Mike Williams nails Mr. Miller.
And he needed it.
Mike Williams, Panther middle linebacker. Loss of a couple of more, call it 3, despite the completion. 2nd down and 18.
Let's do it again.
And the Panther defense has come to life. Dodge back to throw, 2nd and long, puts it up right over the middle, and Glasscock in and out of his hands. Glasscock had it back at the 45-yard line as Dodge overthrew it. It is again. Gets it off. Wobbly pass. He doesn't throw many spirals, does he? But he produces. 10-18, ball at the 37-yard line. 10-18 to go in this game. Permian's offense just gritting their teeth, wanting the football back. Pass to Smothers, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and they're going to get it. And the Panther defense gets a standing ovation. If there's 22,179 here, at least half of them must be from Odessa. Well, the Yellow Jackets average kicking the ball on punts about 34.5 yards. That's going to mean Permian's going to get pretty decent field position, somewhere probably up around the 40-yard line. The toe into it, a good kick this time. Drives Brown back to the 15, and he backs up to the 20. Now Brown's got a wall. Brown up to midfield and is taken down there. And a flag is thrown back at the 24-yard line. Kurt Slaughter's back there at the 24. And they're going to bring this one back. And Kurt Slaughter is just beside himself. Here's the kick again. Well, there it is. There it was. That'll cost the Panthers 15. For half the distance to the goal, backs it up to the 12-yard line. Panthers have got a long way to go right now. Start this drive at their own 12 with 9 minutes, 59 seconds left. Permian is in a situation of having to have a touchdown. Field goal at this point not going to help them much. Clipping penalty against the Panthers wipes out the great return by Brown. Would have had it back up around midfield. Crane. Philip Crane bulldogged at the 19-yard line.
Lee Parham, number 68, strong side linebacker, making the tackle on Philip Crane.
Barham checks into the game, number 90. Crane comes out. Pinnell comes out. Barham in for Pinnell, and Carr now, number 36, comes in for Crane. And the Panthers take a timeout. So there's a timeout on the field. 9 minutes, 34 seconds to play here in the ball game. Panther quarterback Jerry Hicks comes over to talk things over with Coach John Wilkins. Panthers down by 5. They're faced with second down. They need 3. Ball at their own 19-yard line. While we've got the chance, we'll tell you that while you're familiar with Permian's efforts in the state playoffs over the years, Port Arthur Jefferson They've been on a rebuilding program the last 3 years. Ronnie Thompson is the head football coach at Port Arthur Thomas Jefferson. 9:34 to play, second down and 3. Thompson's record when he took over his first year at TJ, 1-9. That was 2 years ago. The Yellow Jackets went 6-4 last year, and they're 14-0 right now. Dale Carr up to about the 24-yard line. He needed 3 for the first down, and he got what he needed, and a yard to go. A yard to spare, and he comes up limping a little bit. Favoring that left thigh or left knee. And Crane comes back in as Carr checks out. Barham's out now, Pinnell back in. Panthers could use a long time-consuming drive right now that winds up in the end zone. Down by 5, 1st and 10 at the 24. Moeller winds up with a football in the reverse, gets away from one, but he doesn't get away from the second one.
That was Lee Parham, number 68. Got to Terry Moeller.
Nailed him.
Way back there.
Here's the play again. On the reverse, Hicks got buried just about the time he got the ball away. 68 is Gibson trying to find somebody to block. Morris couldn't get to Parham. Big yardage loss on the play. Second down and 23 back at the 10. Dale Carr, as the whistles blow, stopping the play. Flags all over the football field now.
Illegal procedure against the Panthers.
It comes with 8.5 minutes to play. A couple of more yards, backs them up to the 6-yard line. Now they need one of those big plays from somebody. Second down and 28 for Mojo at their own 6. Pass over the middle to Morris. Morris out to the 24-yard line, close to the 25. He's just about now back up to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be third down. Panthers need 10. Pickup of about 19 on the play. Clock rolling, 7 minutes, 45 seconds. This has been a great ball game. Permian held the lead at 7-6. They've been behind since then, 12-7 and 19-7. Now they fought back to make it 19-14. Hicks puts the ball in the air, in and out of the arms of Sager. In and out of Sager's arms, and then went into Pinnell's arms, and neither one of them could hold it. Well, that was 3rd and 10. It's going to be 4th and 10. Sager, and then Pinnell comes up, but Pinnell can't get to it. 4th and 10. A couple of penalties have hurt Permian bad this afternoon. First, a face mask penalty in the second quarter, and a clipping penalty here in the third quarter. Loose football, and Permian's got it back.
That was number 68 that came up with the fumble recovery for the Panthers.
Gibson.
Dean Gibson.
Gibson recovers across the 45-yard line into Port Arthur Jefferson territory. And Panther fans are seeing the possibility now down at the 44-yard line. Big mistake by Port Arthur Jefferson receiver. I believe that's Weibel. And Gibson got it. Tremendous roar going up from the visiting side here directly below us at Texas Stadium. That's the Permian fandom. Hicks to throw on first down. Puts it in the air, completes it to George at the 30-yard line. George down to the 28.5. Mike George, the flanker, went in as one of the Panthers' top receivers with 226 yards for the season. Makes the catch. Good catch by George. Pulls it in. Goes down at the 28. George has caught 2 this afternoon for 27 yards. 7:16 to play. Panthers with a first down at the 29-yard line. Sager. Sager to the 25-yard line, and that's about it. But it's still a net gain of 4 yards. Clock down to 7 minutes even and rolling. Steve Striffler, number 42, checks into the game now, and Sager comes out. It's second down for Permian. They need 7. Just outside the TJ 25. Hicks is keeping. Got the ball tucked under his left arm, keeping all the way. Goes down to the 20-yard line. A yard or a little more short of the first down. It'll be third down for Permian. Panther team showing a lot of character. They were down 19-7 at halftime. They have come back to close that 12-point margin to just 5 at 19-14, and they're not dead yet. Panthers at the 20. Third down and 2. Sager gets it on second effort. Sager was on his way down and picked up another yard or 2. First down for Mojo at the 17. Call it the 18. Sager starts down, gets another yard or 2 using his left hand. First and 10, 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Olin Howard brings him up over the football. And George goes in motion. Barham in there at a tight end. Crane runs to his side, and Crane goes down inside the 15-yard line. Barham out, Pinnell comes in. Clock rolling, 5:10. More than enough time. Second and 6. Pinnell comes split to the near side. Crane and Sager in the backfield with Hicks. He's looking in Pinnell's direction. Pass is complete, though, to George. Just inside the 10-yard line. I believe that's going to be a first down for Permian, though it's going to be just short. Third down for Mojo. They're a yard short. Going to have to go to about the 9 for the first down. Third and 1. You'd like to pick up about 5 right here and have first and goal from inside the 5.
How about a touchdown?
How about just a first down right here? Carr.
Got it.
Dale Carr down close to the 6. Pick up a 4 for the big fullback.
He must have heard you talking up here.
Carr's a 176-pound junior. Not that extremely big, but big right now. Panthers first and goal at the 6. This drive, you'll remember, after a penalty, had some lost yardage, was way back at the 6-yard line of the Permian Panthers not long ago. Permian had to punt it away, got it back on a fumble. Carr, Dale Carr, right down to the goal line, but he didn't get there. They're not going to give it to him. Carr is a half a foot out. Now they give it to him.
Looked like his shoulder hit the goal line.
Mike Stevens, one of the Panther coaches, down the way, pounded on the desk, but they got the touchdown. There it is again. You blocked out seeing the ball, whether or not it crossed the plane. Certainly a late call, but we'll take it. Dunn's extra point is good. The Permian Panthers are on top. They lead in this contest for the state 5A championship, 21-19. See what we can figure out of that drive. As you see the touchdown again, Dale Carr. Carr gets his 5th touchdown of the season. Every game Permian has played this year, it seems like the next one is the biggest one they've had. And now it's gotten to the point where every touchdown they score is the biggest one they've had. They're back on top, 21-19. They led by 1 back in the first half, 7-6. They lead by 2 now. They were down by 12 at one point. Officially, that was an 8-play, 44-yard drive. But the Panthers got the ball back, you'll remember, after having to punt it away from deep in their own end. Got it back when the receiver, Weibel, fumbled the punt. So it was a lot longer drive in effect than that, and they got the help of the punt along the way. Miller across the 20 up to the 22, and Port Arthur Jefferson's got a long ways to go now. Just a moment ago, it was Permian with a long ways to go. And you can bet that that aerial circus is fixing to be shifted into high gear. Dodge in the second half, 4 of 10 passes, 1 interception, 4 of 10 for 38 yards. He had 100 yards throwing in the first half. From the 22, Dodge back to throw, gets it away, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Miller out of the backfield. Thomas Jefferson High School is going to have second down and 10 with 4:05 left.
Boy, this is some kind of football game.
Great football game.
Carry me out of here in an ambulance in a minute.
Great football game. Panthers were down by 12, and what a bunch of character they've showed to come back. Never gave up. Dodge to throw again. Pass is broken up by Mike George. Pass was intended for Duhan, and George broke it up.
Perfect timing on that play. Oh.
Well, all those offensive statistics, passing statistics, are not going to mean just a whole lot unless they get a big play right here. And he completes it to Duhan. Williams and Glasscock make the stop. That should be Duhan's 10th catch of the afternoon. Records don't mean a whole lot to him right now, but Duhan with that catch did tie the career reception record. Texas schoolboy football, 178 catches. 1st and 10. Dodge puts it up again. Pass is broken up by Kenner. Everybody on the Panther defense is getting into the act now. That one was intended for Duhan also. Barham's double teamed right there, you see. He can't get to Dodge. Dodge has time to get it underway, and Kenner got a hand on it. It's second down and 10.
You know that Dodge has got to be depending a lot on Duhan. It's got to be. They need a touchdown.
It's getting to the point now where it could get very frustrating for them. Dodge back to throw again. Knoll trying to get to him. Completes the pass to Holloway. Holloway rolls out across the 40-yard line to the 41. That'll be a pickup of about 4. Clock's down to 3:25 and continues to roll. It's third down. Third down and 5. Biggest third down of the play of the season for the Mojo defense right here. It's all coming down to the last 3 minutes. Quick pass. Dodge completes it to Duhan, but he stopped short of the first down. They didn't get there. Great defensive play by Kenner.
They're going to call timeout.
Duhan on the reception, and Kenner makes the stop. It's 4th down. It's 4th down for Port Arthur Jefferson. They need a little less than a yard. 2 minutes, 49 seconds to go. They trail by 2. Permian Panthers defense trying to preserve right here Mojo's 3rd state championship. They won one in '65. That was their first. They beat San Antonio Lee down in San Angelo. They won their second in 1972 with a total destruction one Saturday afternoon of Baytown Sterling down at Memorial Stadium in Austin. And now they're going for their 3rd one right here. They lead 21-19, 2:49 to go, 4th down and a half yard for Thomas Jefferson. And they're throwing. Incomplete. Panthers take over.
Woo! Goodness. Excuse me.
It was 4th down and a half yard, and they went with the pass. That's what's got them here. They went with it, and it went incomplete. And the Panther defense holds as they take over on down. Panther coaches up here in the press box are on their feet.
Let's pick up a couple of first downs and go to the house.
Panther coaches up here in the press box, Lonnie Hobbs, Mike Stevens, and Gary Gaines, or Ken Herring, Gary Gaines, and Mike Stevens, rather. And they're elated just down the hall from us. 1st and 10, Hicks will keep it on the ground and loses the football. Hicks lost the football at the 49-yard line, and Thomas Jefferson recovers. Well, Coach Stevens, Herring, and Gaines are not so elated after all. Here it is again. Tackle was made by Lee Parham, strong side linebacker. He knocked it loose from the quarterback Hicks, and the Panther defense is right back on the field. That has got to be a letdown. But they've got character. They've shown it here this afternoon, so maybe not. Pass downfield intended for Duhan inside the 30-yard line, and Kenner was back defending. Kenner was right on Duhan all the way, and Glasscock was back behind him. 2nd down and 10, 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Both of these clubs, Port Arthur Jefferson and Odessa Permian, have 2 timeouts left. I don't think there's a person, not one of the 22,179 who are here, that are sitting down. If they are, they can't see. There's somebody standing in front of them. Pass incomplete again. Mike George, Mike Williams defending. And again, the pass was intended for Duhan.
Todd Dodge went to the ground just as he released that pass, as we'll see here.
Every pass now is going to Duhan.
Heavy pressure by Stephen Nold on the quarterback.
Again, a wobbly pass. Duhan went up, got his hands on it, had to hear him around him. What a tremendous football season. 3rd down and 10. Tremendous football game to cap it right here in Texas Stadium. 2:26 to go. 3rd and 10. Here comes Nold. Oh, got him. Stephen Nold buries Dodge back at the 35.
Dan McGrew was also there, number 87.
And Dodge is a little slow in getting up now. Stephen Nold.
What a football player.
Talked to Stephen earlier in the week, and he said, my job is to pressure the quarterback. That's the key for me, and he did it. Nold got him, and Dan McGrew was right there to help.
Port Arthur's calling another one of their timeouts. They have 1 left now.
It'll be 4th down and 21. Here it is again. Stephen Nold coming from the near side. Nobody's going to stop that little freight train. And it's 4th and 21 with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to play. John Wilkins on the verge of his 100th career victory and his first state championship as head coach of the Permian Panthers. On the verge, they've got to hold this 2-point lead for 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And against a gunning offense, the type that Port Arthur Jefferson has, you can never relax. Never relax. Tremendous year for the Panthers. A lot of it goes to the coaching. Ken Herring coaches the offensive line and the defensive secondary. Gary Gaines handling the offensive backs and defensive linebackers. Wayne Wheat coaching the defensive ends. Wayne Kennedy, offensive line and defensive tackles. James Allen, the head athletic trainer. What a tremendous season. What a tremendous job they have done. Little razzle-dazzle, winds up back with Miller, and Miller goes down at midfield. And he's still 9 yards short of a first down, and the Panthers take over. Try to get something going any way they can right here. Miller picks up some running room, picks up about 12 yards on the play, but Jerry Hicks in as in the defensive secondary defensively makes the tackle for Permian. Checking some of the other Permian assistants that work with the JVs and whatnot. Charles Patillo, also the head basketball coach. Mike Stevens, head junior varsity football coach. Lonnie Hobbs works with the JV baseball team. 1st and 10 for Permian. Philip Crane down across the 40-yard line, down to the 39, and that's going to be a first down. Clock inside of 2 minutes, and it's counting. Wayman Griggs at Permian, the head track coach, also working with the JV football team. All of those gentlemen to be commended on a tremendous, tremendous football season. Jack Brewer, the athletic director of the Ector County Independent School District. We've talked about how much he's been of help to us over the year. And again, we appreciate all of the help that he's given us. Dodge for the afternoon, 19 of 34 with 1 interception, 19 of 34 passes for 168 yards. Duhan caught 11 throws for 182. Yellow Jackets down to 1 timeout. Clock is rolling, 1 minute and 45 seconds. That's as far as Permian has to go from a state championship. Hicks gives it to Dale Carr. Carr takes the loss of a yard or two. And the clock runs 1 minute and 22 seconds, so now it's stopped as Port Arthur Jefferson takes a timeout, their final timeout. Permian leading 21-19. Tremendous effort by the Panthers here in the second half. They were down 19-7 at halftime. They were down by 12 points. And they have come back in the second half. They have shut Port Arthur Jefferson down in the second half. And they've put 14 points on the scoreboard.
You know, Carl, all through the playoffs, all through the season, all of us knew that this Permian Panther team had a lot of pride. They had a lot of heart. But they've really showed it this afternoon. The defense, the offense, it's just been fantastic.
Well, you know that when a team gets this far, that they're a tremendous football team. I don't care if you don't have the size, you've got to have something. They get this far, you certainly wouldn't expect anybody to lay down. We didn't, and Permian did not. Down by 12 at halftime, but they came back and have done a tremendous job in the second half. Kent Sager. Sager at the 20. Sager's going to score! Permian's not going to win by 2. They're going to win by a couple. Kent Sager scores from 40 yards. And the Panthers are not going to let this one get away. They lead 27-19 at Texas Stadium with the Class 5A state championship all but in their back pocket now. There it is again. Took one look over his shoulder and headed for the blue end zone. 40 yards on the play for Sager, 10 carries for the day for Sager, 73 yards. Dunn gets the toe into it, and it's good. And the Permian Panthers lead Port Arthur Jefferson 28-19 with 1 minute and 13 seconds left. think if there was another football game next week that Permian might be favored to win?
I hope so. They haven't been so far. And something else, they haven't won a toss of a coin that I remember in the playoffs. At least the last couple of 3 weeks they haven't.
It hasn't really mattered, though, has it?
No. What counts is what's on the scoreboard.
A tremendous second half. Permian trailed in total yards at halftime, something like 170 to 100, or 170 to 70. And it has been a tremendous second half. Get the final minute 13 of this game out of the way. We'll carry a state championship back to West Texas. Well, the Panther coaches up here in the press box have gone back to the sideline. They want to be on the sideline when this one's over, I'm sure. Port Arthur Jefferson gets the football. They've got 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the clock. They've got the ball at their own 24.
And no timeouts left.
No timeouts. Dodge back to throw. Gets it away over the middle. Broken up by Mike Williams. Well, Mike wanted that one.
Things kind of turned around here in the second half. Everything.
Well, the real turning point there in the third quarter when Port Arthur Jefferson had driven twice to within scoring range at the Permian end of the field, couldn't get anything. Pass is completed. No fumble on the play. Moves the ball out to the 32. Robert Smothers, or Holloway rather, the fullback on the receiving end of the pass, out at the 31-yard line. Panther defense held on a couple of series there in the third quarter. Finally, the offense got untracked. And the battle was on. Dodge rolls out to throw. And now he gets out of bounds up close to the 40-yard line. Stops the clock with 34 seconds left, and a flag goes down just as he slammed out of bounds. In the ball game, Dodge, the quarterback for Port Arthur Jefferson, 20 completions and 36 tries for 176 yards. Jerry Hicks completed 6 out of 8 for 89 yards.
Personal foul called against the Panthers.
First and 10 for Permian, or first and 10 for Port Arthur Jefferson across midfield. Dodge back to throw, completes it to Holloway, and Holloway is stopped at the 45. He's in bounds. The clock is going to roll, 26 seconds. Statistically rushing for Permian, 168 yards in the game. We have Port Arthur Jefferson with 125. So Permian moves ahead in the rushing department. They trail in the passing department. Dodge is sacked. Loses the football, but Jefferson gets it back. They can't stop the clock. Permian is the 1980 state champion.
Well-deserved state championship.
The scoreboard at the far end of the field says Odessa Permian, state 5A champions. The scoreboard says Panthers 28, the Yellow Jackets 19. They've made up a 12-point margin here in the second half and won this game going away. Permian Panthers have won their third state championship over the years. They erased the thought of that 1975 20-10 championship game lost right here at Texas Stadium, losing 20-10 to Port Neches Grove. They win it here this afternoon. A tremendous effort by the Panthers, and they're going home champions, Gary.
3 touchdowns for the Permian Panthers here in the second half. Touchdowns this afternoon in the football game. Jerry Hicks, a 1.5-yard run. A 38-yard pass from Jerry Hicks to Jimmy Morris. Dale Carr, a 4-yard touchdown run, and Kent Seger capped it all off with 1:13 left in the football game on a 40-yard touchdown run. The Permian Panthers, as I said, they were down 19-7. They came back, they drove, and they drove hard in the second half and came back with a tremendous third and fourth quarter to score 3 touchdowns and come back and win the state 5A championship.
Unofficially, statistic-wise, Permian with 168 rushing yards, 89 passing, 257 total yards for the Panthers. Port Arthur Jefferson, 125 rushing yards, 172 passing yards. They finished the day with 297 total yards. That's well under the 400 that they have been averaging. Permian, it doesn't matter that they finished 40 yards behind them in total yards, because what matters is the scoreboard. Permian's season is over. They have finished it 13-0-2. Wayne Kennedy jumping up and down at the 40. Permian, the Class 5A state champion. Permian over Port Arthur Jefferson here this afternoon, 28-19, and what a job they have done this year. That's the story from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. For the crew of Minicam 7 Sports and for Gary Hopper, I'm Carl Rogers. It's been our pleasure to do these games for you this year. We appreciate the support of the people. We appreciate the support of the sponsors that have helped us get through the season. Until next year, goodbye.